Welcome, YouTubers. Hey, thanks for coming to my channel once again. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter, and the channel where we learn and we practice bushcrafting, prepping, and survival skills for the wilderness. So I'm going out today to try to test out 3 products. I am going to be testing out a fire pit, a BAHCO Laplander saw, and a GERBER Versafix knife, which is more so a knife. It's a hybrid knife machete. So this is the trail that I'm walking down. It's always easier to walk down as opposed to walking back. So this is just a view of Mother's Nature, the place that I can come, or anyone can come and just relax and enjoy nature. Work on your skills, your bushcrafting skills. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. But again, like I said, I'm here to try out 3 projects, three items, and I have found my water system. So this is a nice creek that I can get my water from. So I'm going to head up just a few more yards and I'm going to start my bushcrafting practice. All right, guys, it's time for me to hike upward. So I'm going to see you when I get up at the top. Well, guys, as you can see, I've found the location, and one of the first things I do is hang my rucksack up. So I've done that, but this is the surrounding area. So this is where I will be for a few more hours. So guys, we know 4 important things in the bush: shelter, water, food, and fire. You may also have heard shelter, water, food, and air. And that is because Mother Nature provides you with everything that you need. But again, today I am just out here to practice and try out 3 items. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you along. I'm going to set up my shelter, which is going to be a very, very simple lean-to shelter that is going to be made with a poncho. So I think this is about the flattest area that I'm going to find. So let me get the poncho out and we will start. Hey guys, so again, we know 4 skills basically are shelter, again, water, food, and fire. You may also have heard that it is shelter, water, food, and air, because nature will provide you with everything you need. With all the timber that's here, you can easily make a fire. So I want to show you my shelter, the first accomplishment for today. The shelter is made, it is a lean-to shelter, and it is constructed with a poncho. Now, this is my very first time using this poncho other than in the rain. So I wanted to try something different that would be ideal for me to use when I am out all night fishing. I like to do a lot of night fishing, and it would be great to have a little campsite. So this is a lean-to debris shelter. made from a poncho, and I use trekking poles, of course, on each side. And I just basically tied the trekking poles here and used a trucker's hitch knot. The exact same thing on the other side. Just tied the trekking pole to the tarp and tied some paracord to a stump and used a trucker's hitch. And in the back, to give me more room, the headgear that covers your head for on the rain, I just tied it to a tree and again used a trucker's hitch to give me more room. So this poncho can be used for shelter as well as protecting you from weather. It is a 5x7 poncho. So guys, so as I mentioned, I'm here to practice with 3 products that I have not used. And again, let me go over the first one, which is a cutting tool. So I'm going to get situated and bring you back and show you more about the cutting tool, one of the cutting tools I will be using today. Hey guys, so this is the cutting tool that I'm going to be using today. One of the cutting tools. It has a 9-inch blade, and this is the cutting portion. This is the chopping portion, and this is the jimping that is used for batoning wood. It has a fire striker, an indentation for a ferro rod, a nice rubberized grip with a nice finger choil, and of course it has a pommel. There's a pommel with a lanyard. So the blade again is like, the blade itself, it's 9 inches. It's basically a curved shape. It's a full chain, and I'll be showing you the sheath and giving you a more detailed description of it. But guys, as I've said before, I like to practice with many different knives. I want to be able to put any knife in my hand and use it efficiently. And that is one of the reasons that I bring a different knife with me to the bush each time that I come out here. But again, I really feel that this knife is the most important tool when you are in the bush. So I'm going to go find some wood that I'm going to split, chop, and cut. This is the piece of wood that I will be cutting, batoning, and to make firewood. And another tool that I'm going to be using is the BAHCO Laplander. So this is a very nice saw. The cutting blade is 7.5 inches. Yeah, it has a cutting blade of 7.5 inches. It's nice. I like the green. It does have a hole for a lanyard, and it's foldable, which is very good. And it's about almost 8 inches in length and width. Overall, it is 11 0.8 inches. It weighs about 200 grams, but again, the blade itself is 7 inches, and it has 7 teeth per inch. So I just used it to cut some wood, to cut this wood, but I'm going to be using this to make smaller pieces of wood, because the saw is used to cut and make specified lengths of the wood that you want. And the good thing about this, it cuts on the push and the pull. So press a button, it folds, it closes. Press the button, it opens again. So I'm going to put it to work and cut this branch, and then I will be using a knife to process it further. The BAHCO Laplander. Alright guys, I'm going to actually see how well this cuts. So okay, so we see it cuts very quickly. Again, it cuts on the push and the pull. So let me just put you in focus here. So as you see, it's very efficient. These are the sizes that I will need. So I'm going to make many more. The next thing is going to be fire. Alright guys, I'm going to now try some chopping with this. And again, keep in mind, this is the chopping edge, this is the cutting edge. So right now I'm going to be doing some chopping using this portion of the blade and batoning on the jimping. So let me put you in focus. You can see it's working very well. Again, hitting on the jimping. Not sure if you can see this. Let me put you in focus. So it is chopping very well, splitting very well. Again, it has a flat grind followed by a saber grind. I mean, you could almost call this a Scandinavian grind, but it has a micro bevel on the end. So, but it is not a Scandinavian. It's definitely a saber grind. It's a high flat grind that turns into a saber grind. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this task. But as you can see, it's chopping very well. Well, guys, as we see, chopping works very well as to all the pieces of wood that I have. But now we want to test the cutting edge. And I'm going to make feather sticks. So let's see how well it performs of making feather sticks. I'm going to say it's starting off well, but I'm going to get a larger piece of wood. So it does make feather sticks very well. Just an example. So I'm going to make a lot more of these, and we're going to then go source some water, because there is a water supply here, and I'm going to source some water. So I've sawed wood with the BAHCO Laplander. I've chopped wood. I've split wood. So I'm going to finish making feather sticks, and we're going to go get us some water. All right, guys, it is time to source water, because I did not bring a lot of water with me, because I knew I was coming to this location, and I did not want to bring a lot of water, because I'm here just to test out some gear. So I'm going to put you in focus. I'm going to get some water and I'm going to head back up to my camp. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is put a bandana over my container, as you can see here, and Again, I'm using the bandana to help me eliminate debris. Of course, this water is going to be boiled. The water is very shallow, which makes it somewhat difficult, but a few more cups. And it is full. Back to camp. All right, guys, I'm going to take this back to camp. I'm going to filter it again, and then I'm going to purify it. All right, guys, just as an extra precaution, I'm going to filter the water one more time. I'm filtering the water into a 40-ounce clean canteen that I'm going to boil. And I am using the same bandana, but I'm very careful to make sure that the side that has already collected debris does not go into my clean canteen. So let me put you in focus. As you can see, the water is clean already, but and since water is a premium, I don't want to waste any. Put some more in here. As you can see, it's full. All right, so as you can see, this is the water that I'm getting ready to boil. This is the remaining water, which I still will use. So I'm going to boil this water. And again, guys, this is the water skills. You basically source your water, you filter it as necessary. You can use aqua tablets, chlorine, iodine. Not a doctor, but you can use these items. So I'm going to go ahead and get a fire pit out, and I'm going to discuss that with you as well. All right, guys, what you're looking at is a fire pit. So I'm going to explain this. This is a double wall fire pit. If you notice, there are holes at the bottom which would draw air through the bottom and more so through the top. This is a cover that will allow you to put larger pans on here. For example, if I wanted to boil this entire pot, I could do so. Now, since I am going to be boiling water, of course this will not fit on here, so I will just turn these in. And boil the water from this angle. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is actually start a fire. And I think this is a very unique way. So let me get my stuff together and we're going to build us a fire in the gasless fire pit. All right, guys, well, on windy days, when you have made shavings and you don't want them to blow away, a very good hack is to use Gorilla Tape and apply the fat wood curls onto the Gorilla Tape. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the bottom. Use a ferrocerium rod to get a fire ignited. And we have fire. So and now I'm going to start adding twigs. So I'm going to get this built up. This is the first time I've used this, so it's going through a burn process. But I'm going to get this going and boil my water. Guys, the fire pit gives out a very good radiant heat. I can feel it. This would be great on a winter night, but more so, it's going to be great for my all-night fishing trips. When you're at a location and you cannot dig a pit fire, this will suffice. As you can see, let's take a look at the water. It is steaming, but it is not boiling as of yet. But guys, again, this is just coming out in the bush, practicing with your gear. Again, I have not used the BAHCO Laplander saw, nor have I used the GERBER Versapro, nor have I used the OZARK fire pit. But this is something that I think is fundamental, that when you come into the bush, whichever tools you're bringing or gear that you're bringing, practice with it and become very proficient with it. So when it gets to a rolling boil, I'll be back. Well guys, as you can see, the water is at a rolling boil. I'm gonna let it boil 3 more minutes. It's been boiling for 7 minutes, and I will have filtered and purified water. Well, as you can see now, guys, I have a another cooking apparatus on the fire, which is boiling ramen noodles that would go with stir-fried vegetables. But as you can see, the fire pit is working as it is intended to. This will be a great mechanism again to use when I'm out all night fishing. In areas that you cannot build a fire or you cannot dig a pit, you can use any type of fire that is off the ground. So this will suffice. But as you see, the ramen noodles are boiling. That is from the water that was sourced from the stream, and it's somewhat boiling over right now. But I'm going to go ahead and cook these and then put the vegetables on. Well, the ramen noodles are cooling off. And now I'm going to have stir-fried vegetables. Cabbage, broccoli, celery, asparagus, onion, garlic, carrots, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, and any other vegetable that I forgot. So I'm going to stoke this fire up again. As you can see, I can just toss it in from here. There are still coals in the bottom. So once that catch, I'll be back, guys. Well guys, you can see from the fire that the wind has picked up. It's still going to be a fantastic meal. Let these saute somewhat. Also, there is Brussels sprout in here. I did mention onion and garlic, I hope. You can see the great asparagus, the broccoli. This is going to be so yummy. Still a lot of wood that is left, more than I will need. So when it is time to mix the ramen noodles, I will be back. I think we are ready for our meal. What I would like to show you is how well this apparatus works. There's still fire in there, and I will be making coffee after this. I would turn the keys in. So this apparatus is back on, and I will restart the fire. But in the meantime, I'm going to have a meal. Hey guys, it is time for a meal, and I am having again the ramen noodles with the stir-fried vegetables. The only thing I'm missing is some water, so I have a resolution for that. Still somewhat warm, but water from the stream. It is a tad bit warm, but delicious. Boiled water from the stream. So the remainder of the water I will make tea. Doesn't it amaze you that every time you cook in the field, how wonderful the food tastes? I don't know if it's just getting out from cooking in your kitchen, coming to Mother Nature, and twigs are falling on me. They will be used in the fire. But the food always tastes wonderful when I'm out in the bush. Again, I don't know if it's that I'm not in the kitchen, I'm not at home, but I know I am eating something healthy. Again, I'm eating vegetables and ramen noodles with lemon pepper, some cilantro, regular pepper, and of course extra virgin olive oil. So it is yummy, guys. Unfortunately, I have no ice, and I think I may get rained on. I don't know. Won't be an issue. I'm only 237 yards from my vehicle. So guys, I'm going to divulge this, and I'll see you when I make the tea. Hey guys, this has been a lot of fun, but I think I'm going to skip the tea and head back since it is very, very windy, and we're not under any widowmakers, but branches are falling. So I've gotten my practice in, but again, just want to show you from beginning to end the rucksack that I always hang up. My shelter that I used trekking poles and just guided out to another stump there. I did the same thing on the other side, trekking pole, and I guided out to a tree. And I did the rear the same way. I'll just show you the rear again. This is the rear. As you can see, the wind is really kicking up, but here I have a guide out from the hood portion to a tree with the trucker's hitch. And I think I accomplished what I wanted to today. Again, I only use 2 cutting tools, which is a BAHCO Laplander and a Versafix knife that is about 14 1/4 inches long in length with a 9-inch cutting blade. That is my OZARK 7-inch fire pit. This is what I initially put gathered water and put it in. Boil the water in here, still have water left over. Cooked my ramen noodles in this cup. Fried my stir-fried my vegetables here. Just had water from there, of course, gloves. Used a bandana to filter the water. Used this bandana to catch shavings for making a fire. Of course, always wearing leather gloves. A lot of extra wood for the twig fire pit. But guys, once again, it does matter how often you get out. You get out when you can. Just practice, hone your skills. You'll always learn something. You'll find better ways to do things. But what I found out today, this is the setup that I will use when I am doing an all-night fishing excursion or a fishing trip. Some places, again, they do not allow you to make fire pits, but you can bring something to make a fire off the ground. And the OZARK fire pit, the 7-inch fire pit, will suffice. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pack up and get out of here before any more limbs or branches fall, because it is very, very windy. But this is just part of bushcrafting. It is imperative that you get out, practice your skills, practice with your equipment. It's just even different walking in the bush. Sourcing your water is one of the biggest factors. This would be a good place for an overnighter because water is not far. I do not have to bring that much water with me, or water at all. So, but guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pack up and get out of here, and I will see you on my trek out.